Hey there, I'm Matt from North to Port. I'm going to teach you how to play the song North to Port. Just like normal, I'll play it all the way through and then show you how it's done. Normally, this is a song that Barbara sings a lot of, so it's kind of higher in my range. So if you wouldn't mind cutting me a little slack, I'd appreciate it. Here we go. Wrong place, wrong time. I never meant to stray along that one lonely night has captured you by the heart, won't let go. There's no justice when you lose it to a jealous eye. Let's face the shitstorm approaching, then turn our backs north home to the wind. It's been time to run again for too long, too long. Right place, right time. I never thought you'd string me along. Those were lonely nights that captured me by the heart and won't let go. There's no reward to the risk of losing to a jealous eye. Let's face the shitstorm approaching, then turn our backs north to port to the wind. It's been time to run again for too long, too long. The wrong man became mine. I didn't mention it. For 3 lonely years I sang to you instead, and you didn't know. When I wrote them, they came from my jealous heart. Let's face the shitstorm approaching, then turn our backs north, going to the wind. It's been time to love again for too long, for too long. We turned our backs north to bone and to the wind. Into the wind. All right, so let's talk about how to play this thing. First of all, it's in standard E tuning, so E, A, D, G, B, E, and as you can see, there's a capo on the 6th fret. A note about that: put the capo wherever you feel comfortable saying it. That's really the most important thing. But what I'm going to do is, when I talk you through it, I'm going to use the open E original string name, naming the strings that we're plucking. And I'm also going to use the frets as if the capo is the beginning fret. So this would actually be, I would call this 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. I'm also gonna, this has a lot of open chords, and I'm just gonna use the original name of the open chords as if there were no capo, because it's just easier for us to communicate that way. Here we go. All right, so the first thing is E minor, which is middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A, and ring finger on the 2nd fret of the D. Slide up 2 frets to the 4th fret, to then 1 more fret to the 5th fret, back to the 4th fret, back to the 2nd fret. And that's basically intro, and what happens sort of in between verses. And after that, so when we're on this E minor, I then depress the 2nd fret of the high E string with my pinky, and then release. And then sometimes, not always, but sometimes, I then depress 2nd fret of the G string, and then off. So. So, now we're in the verse. Goes to an A minor shape, which is middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D, ring on the 2nd fret of the G, pinky on the 1st fret of the B string. Then to a G chord, and I'm playing it, there's multiple ways you can play it, but I'm playing it like this. So, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A, and pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the high E. To a B minor bar chord, which is my pointer finger barring everything on the 2nd fret, except I'm not sounding the low E at all, so that's not getting barred. And then ring finger on the 4th fret of the D, pinky on 4th fret of the G, pointer on the 3rd fret of the B string. To the C chord, which is ring on the 3rd fret of the A, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D, and pointer on the 1st fret of the B string. Back to the G chord, and now I lift everything except for keep my pinky on the 3rd fret of the E, and depress the 2nd fret of the E with my middle finger. So. Back to that E minor. To the A minor again. To the G. To the B minor. To the C. And this is where it changes. It goes to A minor. You instead. Or you by the heart won't let go is D. So that's pointer on the 2nd fret of the G, middle finger on the 3rd fret of the B, and middle finger on the 2nd fret of the high E string. And then it's G. But this time I'm playing the G a little bit differently. Instead of this way, I'm playing the other way. Because I'm here on the D, it's an easier transition. So I keep my ring finger exactly where it was for the D chord, moving my pinky to the 3rd fret of the high E string, and using my middle finger for the 3rd fret of the low E string. So, back to A minor, to D, then chorus. So let me take you through the entire verse just because there's a bunch of chords. So anyway, I would start. Wrong place, A minor, to the G, wrong time, B minor, C, G, walk down, E minor. That one, lonely night, A minor, S, G, B minor, C, by the A won't let go. Now we're going to the G, back to the A minor. A minor. To the D. And now we're going to the chorus. I'm using the second formation of the G that I used before because I'm coming off the D. So that's the ring finger on the third fret of the B, pinky on the third fret of the high E, middle finger on the third fret of low E. This is basically an E minor, but just a different formation of it. So open E string, pointer finger on the second fret of the A. Basically everything's open except for the high 2 strings. I've stayed exactly where I was for the G. So ring finger on the third fret of the B string and pinky on the third fret of the high string. This is a little bit different. This is kind of a weird D minor thing. Pointer finger on the first fret of the E string and middle finger on the second fret of the D string, and I'm once again keeping my top two fingers, my ring and pinky finger, down on the top 2 strings. To C chord, different type of C chord, which is middle finger on the third fret of the C, pointer finger on the second fret of the D string, and then still I've got my ring and my pinky staying the same thing, third fret of the B and the E string. So it's that G chord. And then the last, so that's how it ends, but when you're going back to a verse, too long, E minor, and then same thing as the intro. The only difference is after the second chorus, it slides up again another 2 frets, and again another 2 frets, back down 2 frets, back down 2 frets, back down 1 fret, 1 fret. Okay, so it's a little bit different transition intro section between the second chorus and the third verse. So once again, up 2, up 2, up 1, sorry. Up 2, up 2, down 2, down 2, down 1, down 1. And then you're back to the verse. So that's basically everything. All the verses are like that, all the choruses are like that, and you got the intro. So hope that helps. Thanks.